most likely I can handle him this game if I make sure he doesn't do as much damage as he did last game. So let's get ready. Entomb Valley will be the map. I'm going to go ahead and update the scoreboard really quick for you guys. We do have Parting up 1-0 over Alive. Make sure that is correct. Are they red and blue? They are. Let's start it up, Kibbles.
Guys, we've got ourselves game 2. It's going to be between Parting and Alive. If you didn't catch game 1, you're jumping in to a pretty interesting series here. Alive falling very behind early on, Robin, and ultimately almost came back. Perhaps committed a little bit too much to that mid-game push. You know, he definitely anticipated it with the lack of any third being established. So, guys, welcome now to game 2. It's on Entomb Valley. Robin, who are our players?
Well, we have Parting here down in the bottom left corner, and what really set him up to do a great Immortal timing push was the Probe Scout. Remember, that Probe Scout was important. Saw the command center timing and saw the 3 racks that were going down, which after that, Alive actually teched up a little bit too much, which made him a little vulnerable.
Yeah.
So that Probe Scout was important, and we'll make sure that Alive should be able to defend against that. He had a Marine station, but he just wasn't paying attention. Alive here at the very top right corner. It's going to be our blue Terran player. Let's see how well he does. Good luck, have fun. GG's going. It's A9 in his house, man. God, he is so beautiful walking away, cheering us on. It's going to make my day now. Now I'm pumped. Yeah, so Entomb Valley. Interesting match here for TVP.
Yeah, you know, it does offer a lot of possibilities in terms of you can really have some awesome macro games as things do expand further and further because we've got ourselves cross positions, Robin.
Yeah.
The number of expansions and the order in which you take them, you know, which direction you choose to rotate, all of these things are not set in stone by any means whatsoever. Obviously, the natural, this is going to be your natural, this will be your third, but ultimately, which fourth you decide to take, the more exposed one up at the top, but does lend itself very nicely to some splash damage as the Marine Ball would clump up pretty tight, or this even more defensible high ground fourth, which I think may be what we see the players take, but you have to find time in order to kill these destructible debris if you're a Protoss player, and if you're a Terran, you're not going to be able to bring units up there if you don't find the time to kill these rocks. So a little bit harder to take this expansion, but ultimately I believe more rewarding, especially for our Protoss players who can use force fields to their benefit there.
Yeah, and with that, and trying to take down those rocks, your army's out of position.
Exactly.
And if Alive realizes that, he can punish you way heavily there. Of course, the drops, or even just a stamina run by could do a lot of damage as well. So if we get to that point, we will definitely examine how our players deal with those situations. Checking over to Alive, though, he's got a rack followed up into a gas. It looks like, did he actually go gas first? Can you click that for me really, really quick? Gas. No, okay, it was just a racks into a gas. So
that 310,
yeah,
that 310.
310 Marine. Kibbles likes to drop the knowledge train, guys.
Sometimes people get them out faster. Look at this Marine, 308.
308.
You know how rare that is?
That's pretty
You
rare.
have to have the most godlike splitting to get a Marine out at 308.
Alive is OP, man. OP.
Seriously, I'm not even kidding.
Well, look this time. The probe did come in, and he made sure to kill that probe. He
Yeah.
had a supply depot wall up as well. He does not want Parting to get any idea of what
Absolutely.
exactly he's doing. Well done by him. Factory now following up a second gas. Looks like it's been queued up as well. Checking over into Parting. Very standard so far. Should be grabbing a gas pretty soon as well. But double gas from Alive a little bit early here. Where does he waste it?
Yeah, very early, in fact. I think we may be seeing some Cloaked Banshee opening out of Alive. If not, it could be a 1-1-1 style of play with the Marine tank push. I've seen some 1-1-1s that are strictly Marine tank with Raven. It's something that Startail Rainbow favors. And that would be interesting seeing that up against Parting because if that were to happen, I feel like Parting, you know, being a teammate of Rainbow, would have a lot of practice against that build.
Yeah.
But either way, honestly, you know what? He probably just has a lot of practice against the 1-1-1. It's something that Rainbow, I would say, uses in about 7. The amount of Rainbow I cast is just silly, as I'm sure you as well,
man.
Robin. And
His one base play is ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah, he's just a one-base player, simply put. And if we see the 1-1-1 from Alive here, we'll either look for the reactor or additional barracks to be dropped down as an indicator of whether he intends to be all in about it.
Well, here's the Tech Lab, so now it comes out of 2 options, Cloak Banshee or, of course, Raven, as you mentioned. It's most likely to be Cloak Banshee with the double gases going up a little bit earlier. For Raven, you don't need that gas for a good another 10 to 15 seconds, and he got it pretty darn early. So it should be a Cloak Banshee. Checking over to Parting, though, he's actually expanding.
And this is exactly what you want to be doing early on. If you take like a 3-gate Robo expand versus the 1-1-1, Robin, you're asking for trouble. The expansion goes down too late. But if you get this expansion down nice and early, you can reap the benefits of the economy that it's going to provide you by the time the 1-1-1 arrives. You'll be better off.
Well, Cloak has been queued on up as well now. Is he keeping up with this 1-1 He might actually. Is he gonna expand behind this? No, throwing another racks down. So gonna have a couple of racks here as well as a reactor. Gonna go ahead and see what he's been clicking on his factory. I think he wants to build something, or he's just spamming all over.
Yeah, probably wants to throw down that tech lab.
there
You know,
it
he
is.
wants to make sure he can start getting tanks out. We probably shouldn't see Siege Tech research for another about 2 minutes because this push goes around. Well, there's actually a lot of timings
The
you
9,
can
the
go for,
11,
but
the 13.
yeah, it's really just a question of what you think your opponent's doing and what upgrades you intend to go for. And he's going for the reactor here. So this is one of the earlier pushes. You don't go for stim. You don't go for combat shields. You simply accrue large numbers of Marines. This should be all the production facilities, by the way. You can go basically with 3 barracks worth of units. It's going to be a question of does he even make Raven? Will he commit to the Banshees? But this is officially now a 1-1-1, guys, out of alive. A 1-1-1 all in, if you will.
Yep, so we have the Banshee now moving up in the top left corner. Will be coming from around the 10 o'clock position down to the bottom left here. Checking over into porting. Does he have anything to really deal with this? Nothing quite yet. He's going to have an observer out pretty soon, so as long as he leaves it in his natural, he should be okay. And in fact, he should be able to turn around just in time because Banshee's going to hit right when this observer does come out. So it shouldn't be too far away from the base.
No, a nice opening from Parting. Very nice timing with the Observer as well. Taking a look, yep, there's the Banshee. Here's our Observer, and he sees the Banshee. So, nice play there out of Parting. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful timing. Nice control with his Sentry as well, making sure not to lose this guy, even though he got down to 19 hit points. Stalker's now going to join and chase away this Banshee. But, well, the real story is what is Parting going to tech to after this? Because he does have a 1-1-1 on his hands here. You know, Raven included. We do see that currently on the way here for Alive. This is going to be very, very committed. Out of our blue Terran, and Parting needs to get some additional tech, whether it be Immortals, Immortal Drops, or my favorite in dealing with the 1-1-1 is Colossus.
Well, I think it might be a little bit too late to start taking towards Colossi. He needs to get a scout on, though. He hasn't moved away from his base quite yet. That was a regular Cloak Banshee timing. I mean, he could assume that some kind of aggressive play should be coming, especially with the Banshees constantly popping in and out here and trying to take out the sentries, but it's all Stin's been queued up as well here. So he's looking like he's going to follow up with a little bit of a later timing. We were expecting the 9-9-30, but he wants to go for the 11 attack.
He threw down the tech lab on that second barracks and even threw down a third racks as well. Now with the reactor and these 3 barracks, he has a significant amount of production here, Robin. And this is going to be a massive all-in timing out of Alive. Now, he is down at the bottom of the ramp. I would love if he hid the siege tank.
Yeah.
There's not really any use in having.
Now.
Now the observer is going to view the siege tank. Even to put the siege tank, you know, up here in the top right, for example, would have made it more difficult for the 1-1-1 to be realized. Now, only now would Parting be able to spot this, but he has confirmed his suspicions. Yes, it's a 1-1-1. Does he know if it's with combat shields or stim? He does not. Observer gets spotted, however, by this Raven.
Well, he has chosen to pick an Immortal, so he's going to be okay with his choice here. Got one Immortal out, going to have a second one out. A third one would be great. They will milk those siege tanks to pieces if they get behind. And he needs to get his units into a point where they can flank behind whenever Alive does come in for the push and commits to going up that ramp. I've seen so many Protoss players do great when they have the Immortals come behind and get those siege tanks, because naturally siege tanks are going to be behind the Marines. So if you can get those killed off immediately there, from there you can get some force fields down and really choose your engagements really well. So more Marines now popping out. Stimpack is about to finish up. Oh, he's even starting up siege mode here. Alive, man.
You know, earlier on I disagreed in the regards to the robotics bay being too late, but now I feel you may be right, Robin, is the robotics bay it's just nearing completion here. And, I mean, Parting, he needs a minimum of 1. I would like 2 Colossus in order to stop this. Because this is powerful. There's going to be stim. The Banshees, along with the siege tanks, may be able to target down a single Colossus. And the big thing here to point out is that he has stim with this, not combat shields. This is not going to be a slow push that takes a while. He's simply going to go in, he's going to siege his tanks, he's going to stim his army, and he is going to throw everything he has at Parting all at once.
Well, Parting, the best way to beat a 1-1-1 is to delay it as long as possible. He's going to be here in the middle of the map, maybe do a little bit of kiting with the Stalkers, but the Banshee's leading the charge here, so he really can't do too much. Now moving on back, the Colossus is on the way. He is definitely currently boosting it out. Thermal Lance will not be done though quite yet. And Immortal taking a lot of shots here to pull up these health bars for you. One down into the yellow, getting pretty darn weak. If he picks off an Immortal, it's going to be a great victory there for Alive. Now still moving up here. Got to be careful when he goes to the ramp. Nice force field there. Duke only a couple Marines, but he's still delaying.
1 Colossus is now out for Parting. His extended thermal lance is just 3/4 of the way down. If this extended thermal lance completes, Robin, Parting should be able to take this. But only if he manages to retain units. Beautiful force fields going down for Parting, dropping so many of those Marines on the roll ground. He needs to focus fire, however, with the Colossus on the Marines. Now he has to pull it back as the Banshees are target firing, as we said. And if that Colossus got focused down quickly, we were talking about this earlier, Fnatic Alive may end up pulling through with this. The Marines doing so much damage right now to these Stalkers on the high ground. He's starting to kill probes on the low ground, and I think parting may have lost it. Yes, GG, in
Wow.
fact, is going to have to go down.
Did he make another observer after he lost the main one in the main? I don't think he did. I didn't see another observer there. He really wanted to get Colossi out. I don't think I saw
Yeah.
another observer be popped out.
Well, he needed to get Colossi out, simply
Yeah, he
put.
needed to.
Yeah. He needed extended thermal lances
Wow.
or 2 Colossus. I don't think he had to go for both. I think the 2 Colossus would have been sufficient. If he felt he could get extended thermal lances out before 2 Colossus, I would have gone with that option. Basically, you need enough Colossus that it doesn't matter if one gets focus fired, or you need to have a Colossus that can't be focus fired.
Yeah, you need enough Stalkers to actually deal with the Banshees. He had 4 Stalkers, but I don't think he had an observer ready, so he can't even deal with the Stalkers. I'm sorry, with the Banshees. And of course, the Raven was in the mix as well. So with the Raven being there, of course,
Yeah.
the observer wouldn't even matter. That was a really strong push from
Oh,
Alive.
it absolutely
that
was.
Scary, man.
In fact, this actually just occurred to me. If I were up against Stim, I would prefer to have 2 Colossus, as the 2 Colossus are going to lend to the burst. You know, it's going to be one big engagement where the Marines Stim 4, they do all their damage, and if you have 2 Colossus, your overall damage is higher. However, if my opponent had combat shields and was going for a slow, you know, maybe including some bunkers, we do see that build as well. If you were going for the combat shields, I would have instead liked to see a single Colossus with extended thermal lances.
Gotta agree with you, man. Gotta agree. Okay, well, looks like we're going to go ahead and get started up and ready to go. 9
It's
seconds
tough
and
knowing
counting.
what you